Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Vanessa and today we're doing another update for my Pan and Everything project Pan. This project was started by Jessica Lee and the premise, as the name suggests, is to hit Pan and everything you own. Currently I'm focusing on my eyeshadows, however I am going to bring in a non-eyeshadow palette in today as well as do some roll-ins. So let's get into it. So to get started, let's look at the remaining shades from last month. So because I was not living at home, I didn't roll any more shades. So these are the three remaining shades from when I was away. So to starters, we have Fantasy from the Marc Jacobs Fantasy palette. This is Icon from ColourPop's Wild Child palette. And Prince Charming from ColourPop's It's a Princess Thing palette. Okay, so let's go in order. So the first one is from the Marc Jacobs Fantasy palette, and previously I had scraped some out to use as a blush, so I did have pan on it, but I didn't consider it pan because I hadn't used all of that shadow. At this point, the product that was in here has been used, more or less. I have repressed whatever that remaining blush was with the rest of Georgia from my Pan That palette, and so I'm going to consider this one pan met. So previously I had 29 uses on this. I used an additional 16 times this month for a total of 35 uses in this project. No, 45 uses in this project. So this one is rolling out today. Next, in the Wild Child palette, I had Icon. Previously, I had 3 uses on it. I used it an additional 8 times. And you can see here that there's pan in this one as well. Sorry about the glare. So on the 11th use, which was today, I did hit pan on this one as well. I primarily, if you can see that pan, primarily used it as an eyeliner or to kind of smoke out my outer third. So I did use more of an angled or like smaller kind of domed brush. Let's find an example. Something kind of like this, like a shadow brush. Sorry. Like a shadow brush, but that's really, really small and kind of thick, like wide. Yeah, so this one is also rolling out today. And the last of the 3 is from the ColourPop It's a Princess Thing palette. It was Prince Charming. Sorry, this one's going to be blinding. Hopefully you can see that somewhere. I think, there we go. That should make it better. It's very flaky, but there's that pan there in Prince Charming. So this one previously had 3 uses, used an additional 12 times for a total of 15 uses, and hit pan on the 15th use. This one, as I'm sure you could have guessed, I used as my inner corner shade for most of the time. So, what I realized, I don't know why I was so scatterbrained last month. I didn't tell you where I was pan-wise and what my new percentages are. So let's recap where we were last month. So last month I had pan in 45 of my 116 eyeshadow palettes for a percentage of 39% of my palettes with pan, and I had 84 shadows out of my 1406 with pan for a total percentage of 5.97%. So I have hit a number of pans since then, so let's look at those and then we'll do the new total. So in kind of no particular order, I did hit 3 pans in my Subculture palette, and I've actually now finished this shade, the shade Dawn. So I actually only have 1405 eyeshadow palettes left in my collection. So 1, 2, and 3, technically 2, because now that this one's gone, it's no longer in my collection. So that was from there. I have from my Project Level Up, I hit 5 pans in this one. A little spoiler, sorry guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 5. For a second I thought there were 6. There's 5 pans in this one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Those were from this month. That update will be going up soon. Maybe I'll be rolling out level 1 as well. We'll see. Okay. I did hit some more pans in my Pan That palette since this update is the video right before this. There's not really a spoiler, so there's a couple more. Plus Georgia is now gone in this pan, but because it's still being used as a blush and is repressed somewhere else, it's not out of my collection yet. And the last pan I hit this month is from the ColourPop Lovebird palette, and it's this song. It's the shade here in Sing a Song. So I was close. There we go. So if we total all those, and assuming I counted right, which I'm pretty sure I did, I'm more confident in my numbers than I am in what I'm showing you. So where we're at right now is I now have 50 palettes out of my 116 with pan. So that is now a percentage of 43%. And I have 96 pans out of 1,405 shadows for a percentage of 6.83%. So pretty freaking solid month. So as of right now, I have hit 19 pans since the beginning of January. So pretty great start to the year. My goal is 70 pans this year, but it's more like my goal is 10% pan in all of my eyeshadows. That's more of my 2023 goal. So if 70 pans gets me there, great. If 50 pans gets me there and I magically finish a whole whack of eyeshadows, then that's fine too. So yeah, we're off to a really good start. 19 pans in 2 and a smidge months. Let me know if you want to see a whole video dedicated to all my pans and stuff like that at the end of March as like my first quarter eyeshadow pans. Okay, so with all the numbers out of the way, I have pulled up Pretty Random, and we're going to be rolling in, let's do 5 shades. Let's do 5 shades. Let's get started. Or 5 palettes, I should say. Palette 9, 33, 38, pretty sure those are Natasha Denona. That's definitely ColourPop. 13, and 40. There we go, you can see that one. Let's see what those are. Okay, so one of the palettes that we rolled in, I actually already have pan on. In fact, I hit the pan in this project. It was the nudes from Juvias Place, so we're going to be rolling that one out and rolling something else to replace it. Let's see. Palette number 1, that's going to be ABH. I already know which one that is. Alrighty, so I am glad we're rolling out that Juvias Place palette. We had a lot of neutrals rolling in, so I'm glad we rolled something new that's a little bit more colorful. So the first palette that we're rolling in holds a very special place in my heart. 1, because it's Halloween themed, and 2, it's one of 2 palettes in my collection that I did not purchase myself. So this palette I won in a giveaway. Actually, it was a giveaway here on YouTube from Danny, from Danny's Makeup, and it was the Gather Round Sisters palette. So Danny, if you're watching this, thank you so much for sending this to me. I missed the launch and I missed any restocks for it, so I was so excited when I won this giveaway. I literally screamed. I think my parents thought I won like $1,000, and I was like, no, I won something even better. Though maybe now that I'm moving out of my house, $1,000 would have been nice. So anyways, this is what the palette looks like. The only colors, I think there might be 2 that aren't from this that aren't originally from this palette. I know that this one, which is called Brew Potion, this is not the original shade. The original shade was a glitter that I have used and depotted like from this palette, and I replaced it with something else that would still go with the color story. And the other one that I think I replaced is, I call it a bus. I thought this might have been a black with glitter, but I don't remember, and I don't know where this shade came from. So this is now the I Call It a Bus. And I've done a little bit of deliberating, but I have decided to roll in, what do you call it? Hello Salem, which is this shade right here, which is this shade right here on my hand. It's very light, very close to my skin tone, but I think it'll be a great transition shade for when I do neutral looks like this, because I don't have a color that light in my Panda palette. So this is a good one to roll in. And I know it'll be a while, but this is an easy shade to keep working on because it's just an easy neutral brown. So that's the first one rolling in. Next, we have the nudes from Huda Beauty. The Nude Rich palette, I should say. This is what she looks like. Stunning. I love this palette so much. Honestly, I open it just to look at it most days. I can't get over it. I don't know why I don't use it more often, but it is now in this project, so it will definitely be getting a lot more use. So the shade that I decided to roll in is this middle shade right here in the top row. It looks like this. It's a brown with a slight pink tint to it. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a duochrome, but she's stunning. But it's a stunning shade, so I think this one will also go really well, so I can redo a look kind of like this, where I have a slightly lighter inner half and a darker outer half with my Panda palette. We had a whining little baby at the door that wanted to join us, except he genuinely hates cameras, and he definitely doesn't want to sit here for very long, so that was Odin. He will probably make an appearance again on this channel, most likely on my bed, but he is genuinely terrified of cameras, so probably not again face to face. So the third palette I had rolled in was that nude, the nudes from Juvias Place. And so since we re-rolled that, this is what we re-rolled it with. ABH Norvina's Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. This is what, oops, sorry. This is what she looks like. Ooh, shining pan right in the middle there. But very colorful and super beautiful. However, I have not had a lot of use out of these colors, and I'm not really inspired to reach for any of those. The only one I really am interested in reaching for is this one, which is B2. It is similar to the other, well, let's see how similar. Oh, they're not that similar. Okay, so I think I will roll in this one, B2. Once again, I think it'll be an easy rollout. But also it's just what I'm in the mood for. I will reach into the other, like the pinks, the reds, whatever, like the other shades in here. However, it's just not what I'm drawn to. And because they're pigments, I know it will take forever to hit pan on. So I don't want to just drag this lawn for like months and months and months right now. So that's what we're going to be rolling in, B2. Next, we have another ColourPop palette. It's a mood palette. That's what she's called. And this is what she looks like. You know what? I'm going to change it up a little bit on this palette, and I'm actually going to roll in both of the glitters to hit pan in. I will use them exclusively on my nails, maybe once in my eyes if I'm feeling bold, but probably not because I got super sensitive eyes and I do wear contacts. So let's give those a swatch. So the shades are called Ritual and, what do you call them? Stormy. So Ritual and Stormy, this is what they look like. Ritual, Stormy. They're very, very pretty. I'll just swatch them like this. So that's Stormy, that's Ritual. They are super chunky glitters. I wish it would focus, but they're beautiful. They really are really, really pretty, but I will not risk my eyesight just for beautiful makeup, unfortunately. So those two are rolling in, but we still have one more palette to talk about. Okay, and the last eyeshadow palette that we rolled in was the Juvias Place The Violets palette, which looks like this. So, you know what? I was going to say I want to roll in another matte, but I don't think I could hit pan on this literally anytime soon. So I don't really want to do that to myself. So I think I'm going to roll in shade 6, which technically goes this way. So this shade down here, which is a very pretty... It's not showing up as well on my finger, but it's like a periwinkle type of color. Definitely like a blurple. Like I would call it a purple with kind of like a blue glitter in it, which is giving it that blurple kind of effect, but she's gorgeous. So those are the eyeshadows rolling in, and now I just want to see if you guys are interested in this. So I was considering rolling in my bronzer, which is a Franken bronzer that I've put into this Essence packaging, which just looks like this. Obviously the goal is to hit pan, but I was wondering if you'd rather see that in this project or in my rolling project pan, because I do use this every single day, and once I hit pan in this, I might roll it into that project regardless. But just for your interest, would you be interested in seeing me hit pan on this one? I feel like it's not super far away. I have been focusing on the top half of this bronzer, so let me know if you're interested to see it. We will keep it in this project. If you'd rather see it in the other project or maybe not see it at all, let me know. But with that, that is everything for today. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. And if you want to see how I do on this project or any of the other projects that I'm doing, please consider subscribing. And with that, I hope you have a great day, night, or whatever time of day you're watching this. Take care of yourselves. Bye. As soon as I finish filming, my tripod falls and damages my beautiful palette. So there's a big gouge and 2 shadows. Everything is salvageable, but my poor baby, destroyed. Chaos strikes again, so I drop something on my palette, and then I drop my palette and I broke it some more. I'm still going to keep this in the project. We're going to ignore that pan, but we're going to consider it part of our collection now. It's just one of those days.